I'm Janet Kurtz, Editor-in-Chief of InFocus.
And I'm Madeline Bradford, the Associate Editor of InFocus. And we're back this week with another episode of In Good Company.
We are so excited to be back.
We are.
Thank you all so much for watching. We love seeing our video viewership increase. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
So thank you all for joining us every week and coming into our studio.
And we have a fun segment today. Do you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yes. A lot of people know and love Christine Amor. She's the milliner for not just Steeplechase, but also Kentucky Derby. She's done other horse-related events. She makes hats for all kinds of things outside of the horse world. But one of the things that we actually got to sit down with her to talk about was all things bridal headwear. And if you remember, on our cover, we feature one of her pieces that is this beautiful fascinator.
Beautiful.
This whole look was fantastic.
Loved it so much.
The model, Joanna, just hit it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one of Christine Amor's looks. So we got to visit with her at Gus Meyer and talk about, her perspective and what she does when she's looking to help brides who might be looking for a little bit different look. Hi, I'm Janet Kurtz, Editor-in-Chief of InFocus, and we're here today with our friend, Christine Amor. You may remember we talked to her back in May for Steeplechase and all looks for Steeplechase when it was coming up. Today, however, we're going to talk to Christine because she was such a help on our bridal shoot for our January issue. And so we're here to talk about that today. How are you?
Well, I'm good. We're talking about hats. I'm at Gus Meyer in Nashville. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So, how could the day go wrong?
I know. Well, and thank you to Gus Meyer for letting us come in to do this. Well, let's kick it off. We're here, we're talking about bridal fashion. And, there is such a difference between when you are transitioning from, say, something that is a steeplechase or an ascot, maybe it's a fascinator, maybe it's a specific big over-the-top look, or maybe it's an everyday wear hat. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration that comes from your work when working with bridal specifically.
Yeah, so my inspiration just exploded this year because as I look at trends for bridal, it's all over. So it really goes from the hat to the fascinator to the pillbox to like just a band or just a veil. So I love that because I have found over the years that it had been narrowing. And so I would do bridal things upon request. And listen, if there's a reason to make a hat, I'm there for you. But so I found that this year that I was able to have more creativity, and in that I thought, you know what? When you asked me to do this, I thought I'm going to totally do this because the doors opened up to do really what I do all the time, just in ivories and or whatever, like light pastels or ivories. And whites and the material that I normally use just translates into all kinds of things, but especially, the silk that we use has a slight shine to it, and we can add things to it to make it shine more if you want more sparkle or to matte it out, because sometimes you just want to have a really classic, elegant look that just blends into your personality.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, one of the things that really caught my eye was one of the first looks you sent me was this beautiful pillbox with this delightful bow. And I know bows are part of your brand. They're part of your
my logo.
Identity.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But this pillbox is so classic, and yet it has this modern edge to it.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah. So, what's fun about this shape is that you could wear it like up by your eyebrows, or you could wear it back here, like Jackie Kennedy, and also Kate Middleton. Princess Kate was wearing this, wore this look a couple times.
Oh,
and so I think it's a really versatile look. You could have the bow in the front, or you could have the bow in the back. And it's just like simple elegance. I think that's the one thing that's I think you can never go wrong with simple elegance. It goes with everything. It's like instantly admirable.
That's right.
Admirable.
Yeah.
Admirable. Anyway, Christine's vocabulary. I'm a better milliner. So yeah, that's what I like about this. It's just that there's so many possibilities to it.
That's exactly right. And I just thought it was so charming and beautiful, and then had that drawback to these kind of historic looks and classic looks
Yes,
that are
exactly.
so wonderful.
I mean, they just keep going on and on and on. Like they circle around, and I love that. And I think that's one of the things that I saw with the bridal influences. So I also saw that there was a lot of hats that set higher, like a hat nader, what I call a hat nader. And then your audience can still see you, your husband or wife can still see you, right?
Yeah.
But it's sitting, but it's still a hat. It's still a hat. That's what you're
absolutely.
saying.
Well, and speaking of hats, I love this wide brim. This feels very boho wedding, kind of late 60s, early 70s to me, and it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it that way, but what I really loved is that you've got the silver and gold in, like a lot of times we paint into the piece, and then but if you limit it to one metallic, then you can't, it limits it. So this way you can wear it with anything. But I loved just how the painting just goes into into the crinkles of this flower, and it's all silk also.
It's very cool.
And so
I love that. And
the structure of it. And this one, I just want to talk about the trend of pleats. I just was at a Breeders' Cup, and I was wearing pleats. Everybody was wearing pleats. I didn't really see it as a huge trend. I thought it was kind of like a me trend, but it was everywhere. And so I decided to put pleats in this piece.
That is
for the detail.
But also a classic that is being seen on wedding gowns. We've been looking at gowns, for months leading up to the shoot, and you see these great pleats, bodices with pleats, and then straight skirts, or just any kind of playful way to use pleats, and it's wonderful. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this also has very delicate painting into it to make a little detail.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it weddings about the details?
Yes, I think something like that. I heard that once.
The magic is in the details.
That's right. And then this is so sweet. No, this is wonderful. And also, such a different look. So I think that's the thing, is maybe we're moving away from the traditional veil, but then having something that is so unique and different here.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of, which is my passion, is sculptural pieces, and that's why I thought, we don't want a hard, like something where steeplechase would be a little bit of a harder silhouette, but this way with the silk and the bow, it just makes a softer silhouette.
It really does. Well, thank you so much for having us. We so appreciate it. And thank you for all of this. And be sure to check out our January issue. It is amazing and stunning, and you're going to love it.
Yes, exactly. And it was so fun. So thank you, Janet,
of
for
course.
inviting me to do this.
Absolutely. Well, that was a lot of fun.
That was. I loved hearing a little bit more about her process.
Yes, I know. So interesting. And she's just a fascinating person anyway. She started in theater making costumes, and so it was a natural progression to really start making her own hats and really helping people with that. And so,
love that. I love that she's helping people costume themselves, because fashion is another form of art, as we talk about all the time.
That's exactly right. I know. So very much fun. So thank you, Christine. It's always good to see you. We can't wait to see you in May for Steeplechase.
Yes.
And then you and I got to have dinner together this week.
We did. On a Wednesday night, we went to Broadway, which is not our typical gig, but we had a great time going to JBJ's to try their new caviar program, which is the first of its kind on Broadway.
Which is amazing. Like, let's just see where we are in the modern era. We have caviar on Broadway now.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything is possible in Nashville, as we've discovered. But we had a couple little caviar appetizers. We had a deviled egg, a caviar chicken nugget, which was probably my favorite, and then caviar on a chip with this delicious dip. And it was really interesting to see the space. We were in their private dining room upstairs, and it was a different feel than the rest of the honky tonk. What did you think about that?
It kind of lent itself really well to an exclusive atmosphere, I felt like. And, it was fun because I was all of a sudden still coming off the heels of the ballet ball late party kickoff.
Right.
That's where my head was. And I was like, oh, this actually would be a great space for a late party kickoff party, And just back to the caviar chicken nuggets, I just want to reiterate just how good those were. Again, like the fried Oreo from the ballet ball late party kickoff, you know, the unexpected, I think, is what really stood out to me. And I will say they were based on the US Open's $100 chicken nuggets, which is some chicken nuggets that come with your own portion of caviar. So really, really fun, but also I could have taken a 6-piece of that.
I know, I wanted a whole plate of them.
Yeah, I did too, absolutely. No, it was so, so good. But I thought that the space really lent itself well. And so if you wanted sort of this new generation that are coming up that want to have a different, fun experience, it kind of, I thought that worked.
Yeah, it's very unique for Nashville, and obviously, especially for Broadway, they're taking something a little more laid back and casual and making it more refined. So that was really interesting to check out.
And I thought you could really make the space your own while also having something that was different than a honky tonk in that it is a rock and roll themed.
Exactly.
You know, and that in and of itself is so different. So you had these like black and whites of John Bon Jovi and his band. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I felt like the space was so fluid that you could really make it your own.
Absolutely.
So
totally agree.
So really fun. So there it is. You heard it here. There is now caviar on Broadway. So yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you again for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click like, make sure you share our videos, share our socials. We so appreciate you. And remember that with you, our In Focus friends, we're in good company.
Cheers.
Cheers.